So that happened on Thursday. I wake up on Friday, obviously, because I'm in so much pain. I could barely even sleep. So I wake up at like, I don't know, 5:30 in the morning or whatever. And I wake up to a bunch of texts from John, who I've talked about here in the show before. We've had him here on the show before, @_John Jargon on the Twitter. Awesome dude, one of my best friends. He sends me a bunch of texts from like 2 in the morning. I see this. They're from 2 in the morning. I see this at like 5:30. There's like 5 texts in a row saying that Hulk Hogan's been fired from WWE. No WWE.com profile, not on Tough Enough, no merch, no nothing. Completely sponged or scrubbed away was the word that a lot of the websites used from WWE.com. And I was shocked. I'm like, motherfucker, this sucks. I mean, I know a lot of people are celebrating it. There's not a lot of Hulk Hogan fans out there these days. He's said a lot of stupid shit. He's done a lot of stupid shit, this including it. This whole controversy included. And but I'm still a Hulkamaniac. I mean, I'm still a supporter of him. I'm not saying that what he said was right, and I'll get into that right now. But I am still a Hulk Hogan fan. It just really disappoints me. It doesn't surprise me. Like I said, Hulk Hogan's done a lot of dumb stuff over the course of his lifetime, and this wasn't from recently. So let's start from this. Let's start from the beginning here as to what happened, what he said. I'm not gonna say what he said. I'm not gonna say it word for word. You could go check it out for yourself. And it's on, not Gawker. It's on, what is it? The National Enquirer. I think there was another website that released something the other day. Some more comments came out today as I'm recording this on Tuesday. Some homophobic remarks. It's bad. You know, when you read something like that, when John sent me those texts that's saying that Hulk Hogan was completely, scrubbed away from WWE. First, I saw that he was fired, so I'm thinking, okay, something must have happened. But for them to completely erase him from history, not from history, you know what I mean? Like, not almost the Benoit treatment in the sense that he was completely gone from the website, no more merch, no more mentions, no more nothing. They kind of did something similar with CM Punk. I know they kind of took away all mentions of him too, but he was still on the website for a while. It took a while for them to kind of erase him. He has some stuff on the network still, so he's not completely gone from the WWE, from the annals of WWE history. Hulk Hogan, they scrubbed every single mention of him on the website for the most part. He has not gone from the WWE Hall of Fame to kind of clarify that speculation. There had been some concern from fans saying that, is he gone from the Hall of Fame? He's not in the Hall of Fame section of the website. They just needed to get him off the website, period. So they had to get his profile off of there. I'm pretty sure he's still an official member of the WWE Hall of Fame until I hear otherwise. But anyway, when you hear something like that, you know it's got to be bad. And it was bad, I'm not going to repeat it here. You can go read it on the National Enquirer and all the other websites that released his controversial racist tirade from the sex tape from like 2006 or 2008, whenever it was. And it was pretty bad. That it is worth WWE getting rid of him. Scrubbing all mentions of, I'll get to in a couple minutes. I'm not in agreement with everything that WWE is doing right now in terms of, like, it's hard to explain. I mean, I understand they want to distance themselves from Hogan, but like I said, I'll get into that in a minute. In regards to what he said, it was pretty bad. He used the N-word multiple times, the homophobic remarks that were released today, and they should just release it all at once. I don't agree with releasing it periodically to get more views. I get why they're doing that. They want to stay relevant. So I understand where they're coming from that viewpoint. But I just, and Hulk Hogan's not making the situation any better either. But and I'll get into that shortly too. But I wish they would just release it all at once. Just to get it over with, get it all out there. He's never going to 100% fully recover from the scandal. It's always going to be out there. He will recover. I do believe he will be back in WWE at some point. But this will always be a dark cloud looming over him. Now, I can go more in depth with this, and I will, talking about all these different aspects that I've kind of already mentioned. But my full thoughts on this, I kind of talked about it on Friday when the news broke. I talked about it on the hashtag AskGSM yesterday, and multiple people asked me questions about it. So I don't want to sound like I'm repeating myself, but I'll, for those that didn't read the post or hear my thoughts on it in the video yesterday, on Monday, I'll just kind of briefly give my thoughts on it. So, although I'm a Hulk Hogan supporter, I'm not at all condoning what he said. It was bad. He had to be fired for it. I'm not saying that WWE shouldn't have fired him. I just don't believe they should have completely erased him from history, giving him the Benoit treatment. Now, I'm not comparing the two situations. Benoit killed 2 people. He killed his son. He killed his wife. He killed himself. It was a disgusting act. And he absolutely deserved to be erased from the annals of WWE history. I know he's a competitor. He was one of the best of all time as a wrestler. but they just can't acknowledge his presence in regards to, at the risk of, with people asking about who he is and what he did and kind of shining some more light on the situation. So I agree with that. And, not putting him in the WWE Hall of Fame. I've always said that. I've never changed my viewpoint on the Benoit situation. Now, with Hogan, it was stupid. It was ignorant what he said. He shouldn't be removed from the Hall of Fame just because he made some racist remarks. He was being an asshole. But being an asshole and doing something illegal, I know hate speech is illegal, obviously. But, killing people and making racist remarks are different things, in my opinion. Like I said, I don't want to compare the two. It's very, very different, the two situations. But still, I feel like he shouldn't be released or shouldn't be removed from the WWE Hall of Fame. He's Hulk fucking Hogan. One of the greatest of all time. He is wrestling. He'll never be completely erased from the annals of WWE history. He will always forever be associated with that company. So whatever they do, no matter how much they try to forget about him, or not try to forget about him, they're just trying to distance themselves from him to avoid any bad heat. The stock's already plummeted, so that's no surprise. And that's what WWE is all about. If Michael P.S. Hayes, who is a well-documented racist, having said things to Mark Henry, which Mark Henry admitted he did not use Michael Hayes' name in his statement last week, which he released on Twitter on Friday after this whole controversy broke out with Hulk Hogan. But he is a documented racist. Now, because WWE had not gotten any publicity for it, they had not gotten any mainstream attention for it, they never really addressed the situation, i.e. they never fired the guy, hence why he's still under contract, he's still employed by WWE. Now, I don't agree with that. Hulk Hogan is a major public figure, obviously, so henceforth they had to do something about it. They had to get rid of him. So I'm not blaming WWE for firing him. They're absolutely justified in doing so. But the question is, how far does the punishment go? And when I say that, you can stop releasing his merchandise. I understand why you would want to have Curtis Axel stop doing the Axelmania thing, which, it sucks for him, and the only money he'll probably ever make, other than the occasional paycheck, obviously, is based off that Hulkamania t-shirt, is from that Hulkamania t-shirt, which a lot of people got. It was a pretty popular t-shirt, not one of the best-selling merchandise items that WWE had, but Curtis Axel, for a guy like him who's been mostly dead for most of his WWE career, now has to go back to square one because the Hulkamaniac thing, they can't have any reference to Hulk Hogan whatsoever. Now, it's not like he was in the middle of a title contention. He was not a title contender. He wasn't doing anything noteworthy. Him and Damian Sandow, a.k.a. Macho Man, weren't even on TV to begin with. They started doing the gimmick a couple months ago. They were on TV all or once or twice, and then they were kind of relegated to WWE superstars, and they haven't been seen on Raw or SmackDown since, other than that Brock Lesnar Undertaker brawl last week on Raw. They kind of made cameo appearances. Axel had the Hulkamania beard, and he had to shave that off, as seen on a picture on Twitter that someone took from a live event over the weekend. You can get rid of that. You can get rid of the merchandise, but then I saw over the weekend the NWO merchandise was taken down. Now, I kind of took issue to that, not only because I'm an NWO fan, and I'm glad I kind of purchased my NWO sweatpants that I wanted to buy for the longest time. I finally got those back in May on sale, so thankfully I got those before they got taken down. But his name wasn't even on that. Hulk Hogan was a part of that group. Sure, he was one of the founding members of the NWO back in 1996, but how far do you go with the punishment that you have to erase everything that he's associated with? The NWO, his name wasn't on the t-shirt, so why get rid of the merchandise for the NWO? Something like that I don't really understand. Getting rid of him in the movies they have coming out, I get that. It's just a lot of shit they have to go with. It's not like a Zack Ryder or a David Otunga. This guy was in everything. It's Hulk fucking Hogan. The guy came back to the company a year and a half ago. I was so happy to see him back, and as noted, as I've said multiple times before, I started watching WWE. I started watching wrestling in 2008. So by that point, Hulk Hogan had made his last WWE appearance in December of 2007. So I had not seen Hulk Hogan in WWE ever. So I did not get the chance to see Hulk Hogan in WWE up until 2014 when he finally made his comeback. I was so excited. And to his credit, he has not said anything dumb since then. Since all this has broken out, or anything that's been documented or recorded, or to our knowledge on the record, we have no indication. We have no indication that Hulk Hogan has said anything stupid since this whole racist tirade back in 2006 or 2008 or whenever it was released. Now, again, he was in a dark place at that time. I've said that before on Twitter in the last couple of days. So he was not in the right place mentally. That does not make what he said right at all. I mean, just because you are in a bad place doesn't make it right what you did. And he should still be punished for it, but I do feel sorry for him. It's been so long. It's not like it happened just recently. He was caught on tape using the N-word or anything like that. Is he a racist? He said that in the rant that was recorded. I mean, you say a lot of stupid shit when you're fucking messed up like that. But then again, I don't know. I mean, there's a lot of people sticking up for him. Virgil sticking up for him is not a good sign. I know he's an African-American former WWE superstar, but Virgil is also a well-documented person that is messed up right now. It's very well known that Virgil is fucking kook, so I wouldn't really believe anything that he says. And people can come to his aid, like Kevin Nash and all these other guys, and it's good to see. He's a great human being from what I've seen, doing all the Make-A-Wish foundations. But all of that, for the time being anyway, will be overshadowed by this whole controversy of him being racist. And it doesn't help his case that he admitted to being a racist in the tape. So how badly this hurts his public image forever. Obviously, it tarnishes his reputation for now. Forever, I think he will recover. Not 100%, like I said before. I do think he will be back in WWE someday. But it's a shitty situation. It's a really shitty situation with more stuff coming out, the homophobic remarks and stuff like that. And I mentioned this in #AskJSM yesterday. The Solid Monster mentioned this on his podcast over the weekend. I remember tweeting about it on, I don't know, Friday or Saturday or something. And I'm one of the biggest, I am one of the world's biggest Ultimate Warrior fans. The guy was an idol of mine for as inspirational as he was. But even he had said a lot of nasty things in his lifetime, a lot of racist things, a lot of homophobic remarks. So why is it that he can be inducted into the Hall of Fame? And I'm sure WWE was well aware of what he had said in the past. Why is it that he can go into the WWE Hall of Fame and be welcomed back with open arms, but Hulk Hogan can't be? And it's because, for one reason, if Ultimate Warrior, and I'm sure if he was still alive, maybe that stuff would have come out at some point, that he had said a lot of racist things on tape and whatever, and he was a bad person, maybe they would have fired him too. I have no idea. I honestly would not be surprised, considering Warrior's track record with WWE and coming and going and coming and going and coming and going. I would not be surprised that if he was still around today, he would probably already left the company. I mean, I hate to say it, but if stuff like that was made public. And like I said before with the Michael P.S. Hayes thing, he never got any heat for it mainstream-wise, so therefore they didn't have to fire him. WWE was put under a lot of pressure after this whole shitstorm with Hogan. They knew it was going to become a big news story, so they had to take action and fire him, so I don't blame them for doing that, and I already kind of talked about how far they need to take it, but he will be back someday because he's Hulk Hogan. He is wrestling. I mean, he has brought so much to this business. Whether there would be a WWE without him or not is up for debate. I honestly don't think so. So I do think he will be back at some point. They just kind of have to distance themselves from him for now because of all the heat that's on him, and I don't blame them whatsoever.